I believe I'm the right person for this job because I'm very feminine for this role. My feminineness, feminine sexuality, feminine personality will add value to this feminine role in the most feminine way possible.
Stop getting the wrong advice. Ensure you get the right skills for the right job for jobs in the Middle East. Contact Loy Machedo.
Alright, this video is shot at 4K 60 frames per second. There is no hyper boost balancing, so it might be a bit jittery. So 4K 60 frames per second. This is the video that I'm shooting. I'll give you three things that I find very challenging for me. Three things, okay? It might be different for different people, but for me, this year at least, these three things have been extremely challenging. The first one, I would say, is might sound silly, but keeping my room in order and tidy. Oh man, it's it's a bloody nightmare. It's like I'll keep my table clean, okay, everything is in place, there's no extra clutter, and lo and behold, before you know it, there's coffee stains on the thing, food, sauce, wrappers, papers, pencils, pen, and I drink carbonated water. Those empty bottles are there, and tissue and cables and battery, and you're like, oh my goodness, what? And then on top of that, obviously you have dust and everything else that comes. But then when you check your drawers, you have everything just filled up there. Like you had kept the drawer properly in order, but now cables are there, and wires and chocolates and chips and change and money, and the whole drawers is a mess. And you're like, oh man, what the hell is this? You just kept it properly, and now again it's a mess. So for me, the first one is to keep things in place and in order. Fuck, I really struggle with that, man. It's like you have to keep doing it. Whether it's your desktop, whether it's what you download, whether it is your room. Such a nightmare. So that's the first thing I find very challenging. The second thing I find challenging is, using my time properly. It is unbelievable, man. I'll tell you, I can't even stress. In fact, if I were to say, the biggest challenge is time. They have books on time management and all that. That's all bull, man. That's all bullshit. You can't manage time. Like, let's say, for example, you got up in the morning and you're like, okay, I'm going to do this. And suddenly your daughter comes in and says, Papa, I have this, I have that. Or your wife says something else. Or you're deciding to do something, and all of a sudden you receive this message from a client. Oh, I have this money. I need this thing, I'll pay you. Or you have something that is critical and urgent. Or even worse, let's say the electricity just shuts off. You're like, oh man, come on. So, and then on top of that, obviously we live in a social media world. There are so many distractions. WhatsApp groups, I keep on ting, 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 that's why I switched it off and put it on mute. You keep getting message after message after message. So obviously your eye will go there and something you'll pick up. Or you switch on Facebook and there is always that content that keeps going on and on and on. Or you suddenly feel, okay, I'll listen to some YouTube music. And when you open YouTube, you see the different options, very attractive looking. And you're like, wait, what is this? Oh, this shocking news. Oh, this. It's so hard, to manage your time, especially when you have all these distractions. I think the two things I will couple together is time and distractions. It's impossibly hard. Because what happens is when you start getting involved in one thing, then obviously there's an opportunity cost for another, right? And if I focus on one client, I can't do anything else. So now, before I know it, it's like 6 hours or 7 hours that I planned to do this particular 3 tasks. Now I've done only one. The other 2 I couldn't do because I had a client, or because of something else, or because my baby or my wife wanted to go somewhere, and finished. The whole time goes. And then obviously attention, which I told you, everyone wants your attention. And then I think the last one, I think is your energy. Now obviously if you're young, you have boundless amount of energy, boundless, okay? But as you grow older, your responsibilities increase, your pressure increases. Your pressure means the impact of a decision is so critical, you can't take it lightly. See, when you're young, for example, okay, you don't have big responsibilities. But when you're older, no, let's say for example, when I was young, my clients would pay me, let's say $5. So if they pay me $5, the what they're expecting is $5 value. You can just think something and do something small. But today, if a guy is willing to pay me, let's say $200, $217 for the hour, I can't give him a casual approach. I have to give him that value for money. It is money. And if someone pays you even more, you have to literally give them much more attention, much more focus, because they're paying top dollar. And let me tell you, it is so exhausting. It is so exhausting. You may not believe this, but by the time I finish a session with a client, I am drained. I'm literally drained. I tell my wife, just press my head, just help me relax, because I've put so much of myself into the client's shoes, into his problem or his challenge, or given so much of my creativity. And you have to appear, you have to not appear, you have to be strong, you have to be sharp, you have to be at your A game. So it's like you preparing for an important meeting, and after it finishes, it's like a life-saving surgery. You can't do it casually, man. So for me, these 3, I know the second point I've mixed time and attention and all that, but I think they are interrelated, But yeah, the third one is another crazy one. So these 3 things, no? And one more thing you need to understand is, with energy, it's directly or indirectly related to your mental health, your physical health, your peace of mind. Yeah, all this comes into play. I'll tell you, this is not just a challenge for a freelancer. It's also a major challenge for a businessman. And yes, employee who takes his work seriously, who takes his life seriously. So these are the 3 things, man. I don't know, what are your challenges? Mine are, I told you, one is keeping the room in clean, tidy and order. Second one is time and the attention. It's crazy. And last one is your energy and that's why I'm very particular who I deal with, what time I deal with. Don't want to be exhausted, man. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Just thought I'd share this with you. Love to hear what you have to say. You guys take care. Ciao.